Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. And so tired of these conversations we're having with these people that are trying to bring down our great MAGA movement. Candace Owens has lost her mind again. I guess it'd be a bigger news story if she had her wits about her, but she seems to have lost her mind every time she speaks. But she's not the only one going with this. Rasmussen's also talking about this, and I got to explain what's going on. Candace Owens, let me just play the clip of Candace, and then I'll talk about Rasmussen and what's happening here.
I don't know. It's lost its edge, right? Like MAGA's over. You just know it's over.
Okay, so Candace is saying that MAGA's over. This is nonsense. MAGA has never been stronger. Our president, President Trump, has overcome a miracle, right? They shot him. They tried to kill him again. They tried to put him in prison. He's back in the White House. He's doing incredible things policy-wise. We've got Comey indicted. We got Letitia James indicted. Reports are coming out that the Brennan indictment's next. So the lawfare criminals are being brought to justice, and others too. So there's, it's all happening. We're finally catching up with the lawfare criminals, even. So everything's going well. So Candace is saying MAGA's over. Rasmussen is doing a show on X saying that MAGA's crumbling. Well, let me first talk about Candace, and then I'll talk to you about this thing that Rasmussen's talking about, that MAGA's crumbling. None of these things are true. In fact, the opposite is true. From Candace's viewpoint, what's going on is this. She's out of the loop. And because she's not on the stage anymore, the movement's over. And the movement not only is not over, this is the beginning of the movement, because this is a movement that's going to be around for the rest of time. The Republican Party is known as the party of Lincoln, right? For good reason. He was the first Republican president. He freed the slaves, sacrificed his life to do so. Well, there's a similar thing going on. Republican Party is the party of Lincoln and of Trump. There's some other people in between those two that are, respectable people by President Lincoln. And Candace, she's out of the loop, right? She didn't get invited to the Charlie Kirk Memorial. She can't get the president on the phone. She feels entitled. She feels he's there because of her. And because she's out of the loop, she views the movement as over. No, it's just her involvement with it is over. Now, Rasmussen is doing a show today on X, on Spaces, and they're talking about the MAGA movement is crumbling. Nothing could be further from the truth. I did a very detailed show. By the way, Roy just gave a $5 super sticker. Thank you very much in the YouTube live chat. I did a very detailed show over the weekend on the podcast about Tucker and Mark Levin and all these people. So I'm not going to redo what I did then, and you guys should go and listen to that show when you're done with this one, because I covered a lot. But what you have here is you have a handful of the new media, the influencers. Candace Owens, Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes. There's a few others, but those are the main six, right? What do they do? What do they cover and what do they talk about? You know what they cover and what they talk about? What the other one said about them. That's all they do. They interview each other. Then they sit around and talk to each other about each other. Then they go on their own shows and talk about what this person did to them. And then they go on another person's show and talk about what this one of the group of six influencers said about them or said about this other person. It's nonsense. There's this clique of, and there's a few others, but those are the big six that are, the center of all this madness. There's this high school-like clique of influencers that are just out there talking about themselves and what people are saying about them as opposed to talking about the issues. And they've really lost focus. And a lot of them feel as if they're entitled to have a role. Now, let me tell you, out of all the media people that have podcasts and YouTube channels and radio shows, I got all this stuff, right? And those of you that have listened to me, what do I talk about every day? I talk about MAGA, what the president's doing, and every great thing that's going on. And I've been doing that since before he came down the escalator, but I'll just start from there. That's what I'm talking about. Do any of you ever see me feel that I'm owed by the president or the Trump family? You never hear that. In fact, except on very rare circumstances, I don't even attempt to get my way into things. I have on a few things. Last week, I went to that thing with Eric Trump, wanted to see Eric Trump. I went to that thing at Mar-a-Lago that I covered, you guys saw, and I've done a few things. But I'm not interested in the social ego influencer side of things. I got an email the other day, somebody inviting me to I don't go to those things. I don't need, a lot of people talked when we were bringing down the fake news, exposing the fake news for being what they were. Remember, many people would say, these Washington News Corp fake news people, right? The Washington Press Corps, all they care about is getting invited to the parties, right? Getting invited to the fancy cocktail parties. Well, this handful of new media influencers, the 6 I named, and again, there's some others, but those are the main 6. All they care about is, like right now this may have changed since I opened up my mic, but right before I went on the air, Candace Owens was #1 trending on X, on my suggested trends, okay? All they care about, these 6, are themselves. Who's trending? Who's speaking at the next Turning Point event? Who's going to the big, that's all they care about. None of them care about the MAGA movement, and I'll tell you what, none of them, I don't think, for the most part, ever have. And it's becoming more and more apparent all the time. Now, I understand, all of us are, like them. This is what I do for a living, so I got to be, so I'm aware of that. But I don't have a sense of entitlement. I don't feel I'm owed. I have zero interest in being in these cliques, MAGA movement. So the MAGA movement, and there's a few others like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's gotten really, if you're on hold, stand by. I'll take some calls shortly, and you're all welcome to call in. If you're watching live, the number is pinned in the live chat on YouTube. It's toll free no matter where you're tuned in, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You listen to Megyn Kelly, Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes. Do they talk about anything other than themselves and what one of those other of the 6 have said about them? Very little. Very little. Now, a lot of this has to do with, there's a lot of egos involved with anyone who's in this circle. I've been doing this so long, I just, those things don't affect me. I don't know. These people people have addictions. My addiction, and it's a terrible one, is my Starbucks coffee in the morning, guys. I know you guys give me a hard time for that. That's an addiction I've tried to kick. Their addiction is attention and being the center of attention and trending and how many views they got on their latest podcast episode and who's talking about them and who's out to get. That's their drug. I've got my Starbucks coffee. Hunter's got his crack and hookers, and these people have themselves. Their addiction is themselves and their fame. Now, there's another thing I want to talk about before I go to the calls involving this. There's a lot of fake MAGA out there. Some of them call me here on the program. Some of them fill up social media, okay? And there's a lot of anti-Israel business going on, right? Trump is controlled by Israel, all this stuff, Mossad, all this this just endless ridiculousness. Of course, Israel doesn't control us. We control Israel. That doesn't mean they don't have a lobby group. I understand that. I know about their lobby group. And they have control like any other lobby group, right? They give money to people. I get it. But there's all kinds of lobby groups. They're no more influential than any others. We control Israel, not Israel us. In fact, the way that this war was ended in Gaza, President Trump forced Netanyahu to end it in a way he didn't want. He didn't want to end the war. Netanyahu wanted to wipe out everyone in Gaza from existence, okay? And you don't see Netanyahu buddy with Trump these days too much, do you? He is plenty pissed at Trump because Trump forced him to end a war that he didn't want to end. But the Israeli wars are over. The Iranian and the Gaza wars, those are over. Israel is not even in the top 10, maybe not even the top 20 right now, issues that the president is dealing with. He's dealing with a lot of other things. And there's all the, how many times have you heard me go to the phones? It may happen on this podcast. I don't know. It happens almost every day. Some question about Israel or Mossad or something more specific. I got some of those calls today. Most of those people are fake MAGA trying to cause dissent. I was talking this week that I believe that Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes are working together, maybe for the deep state, maybe some other interest are paying one, but I don't know. But they're on a mission to discredit Turning Point USA through a misinformation campaign, right? Well, you hear me talk about seminar callers a lot. Seminar callers, that is a term and a label that was created by the late, great Rush Limbaugh. He talked about seminar callers. I get seminar callers quite a bit. Sometimes I point them out, sometimes I don't. But you guys that listen to me regularly, I've pointed them out enough. You can pick out the seminar callers yourselves a lot of times, even if I don't say anything, right? It happens so often. That's why I don't say it. If I said it every time, it'd be too much. But one of the seminar callers is Mossad and Israel conspiracy theories. Like there's this one thing going on now with Kash Patel's girlfriend, and is this what these people said about her? I tell you, I was a friend of mine. He's Jewish, and I when I was talking to him about this on the phone the other day, I said, I said, how many people are in Mossad? It seems like everybody who's a Jew is in Mossad. I'm hearing from these people. Those mostly, not always, but most of those are seminar callers. And they're calling in, pretending to be MAGA here, or posting things on social media, pretending to be MAGA, and having all this concern about Israeli control. Those are seminar people trying to cause division. The deep state, do you think these evildoers, when Trump got reelected, they just said, okay, that's it, he got reelected, we're done? They tried to kill him multiple times. They actually shot him. They tried to put him in jail a whole bunch of times. They raided his house. They did all that stuff. You think they gave up? No, they've changed their tactic. And their tactic is the assassination of Charlie Kirk, followed up by this Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson misinformation campaign to discredit Turning Point and discredit the MAGA movement with all the things that I've been talking about the last few minutes on the program. Don't you see what's going on? I think most of you are sharp enough, bright enough to understand that I'm right about this. Now, Candace Owens, she's a crazy person who feels that she's owed, okay? Now, by the way, the big six that I mentioned, keep in mind, all of them at some point in time were very open never-Trumpers before they were MAGA people, okay? So I don't even know if all these people were ever truly MAGA. But Candace Owens, she feels slighted by Turning Point. I mean, she's keeping like 6-year-old text messages from Charlie Kirk on her phone. I don't know what's going to come out of her mouth next. I've always suspected that they were, had a relationship when they were at Turning Point. When I first heard of the two of them, I assumed they were a couple back in those days. Didn't you guys? I don't know, but it seemed that way to me. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But she's got 6-year-old text messages. That's crazy. And it's also creepy. But she feels slighted by Turning Point because she feels that she is in large part responsible for its growth in the beginning. And she's right. She had a big role in Turning Point. You know, she helped Charlie Kirk a lot. She did a lot of activism to make, and she feels owed, but she's cut off now. So she's pissed and she wants to destroy that organization. So I don't care what Rasmussen's talking about. The MAGA movement is not crumbling. It not only is it stronger than ever, it's larger than ever. And when the president sends out these $2,000 dividend checks from the tariffs, it's even going to become bigger. But the movement's becomes very big. The president's working about 20 to 21 hours a day. I don't think that's an exaggeration. And he doesn't have time for these influencers. And also during the campaign, you know, President Trump was getting great advice from Charlie Kirk and from Barron Trump to go on a lot of these podcasts, like Aaron Paul and others and things. And he was running for president. And now that he's in office and he's busy running the world and resetting the world and doing all these great things he's doing, these influencers, they feel slighted and they're pissed and they're vindictive and they're saying stupid things because they want to get even with Trump because they feel that they're owed something. All that President Trump owes us is to make America great again, and I think he's doing a pretty good job at that. Now, I'm going to take a quick break. I'd certainly like to hear your thoughts. The number to call in is 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Frank from West Palm. How you doing there?
All right,
Brian,
Frank.
you were absolutely correct. LaPorta Roofing was amazingly phenomenal. They just completed my roof last week, and LaPorta Roofing was superb in all ways imaginable when installing the new roof on my residence. Tom LaPorta meticulously spearheaded the entire project from inception through to the finalization of the assignment. Tom handled all the paperwork involving city permits, inspectors, and my community HOA. He was always available, ensuring me that he had my back in all phases of the project. Additionally, Tom, Scott, and Dan, and the entire crew were very well organized with the plan, consistent with all policies and procedures, and craftsmanship was exemplary in all stages of the design execution. Tom, Scott, and Dan maintained continual contact with me, the homeowner, asking if there were any questions I had or anything further I needed. LaPorta Roofing is, in every respect, a stellar, 5-star, AAA, family-owned company that is a reliable, peace-of-mind roofing organization. These guys are spot on with regards to perfection, and they demand it. I remain mesmerized upon the completion of the job. My roof is a masterpiece. And one last thing before I forget, they were the least expensive quote that I received out of 4 quotes for roofing. I thank Tom LaPorta Roofing for all that they do.
Wow, Frank. Well, thanks so much. Tom LaPorta at LaPorta Roofing. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. He works with every type of structure, residential, commercial, municipal, and he works with every type of roofing material. Also, don't forget, Tom LaPorta will never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need just a simple repair, he'll do it. He can also handle the job of any size, whether it's a single-family home or an HOA with over 200 units. Give him a call. This number rings directly to Tom LaPorta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602.
Big news! Wisteria.shop is now open. Explore a brand new world of furniture designed to elevate your home. From cozy sofas to elegant dining sets, every piece is crafted to inspire and impress. Check out BESTERIA.shop today and be among the first to discover this exciting collection. Don't wait. Transform your space now at Wisteria.shop. Wisteria.shop. New style, timeless comfort. Author Nancy Bolee invites you to uncover the mystery in The Joker's Revenge, an intriguing Maine mystery, available on Amazon. It all started as a summer job, but for 17-year-old Darcy, it became a journey into her mother's past and a mystery that could change everything. At a quiet Maine camp in 1972, Darcy hoped to escape her overprotective father and prove she could stand on her own. But strange things are happening in the pine trees. A prankster, a secret invention, and buried beneath the laughter and lake songs, a dark family secret that refuses to stay hidden. As Darcy searches for the truth about her late mother, she discovers love, betrayal, and the one question she can't escape: who can she really trust? The Joker's Revenge has earned 4 awards, including a gold medal from Global eBook Awards. Order your copy right now on Amazon in Kindle or paperback. The Joker's Revenge, an intriguing Maine mystery, from author Nancy Bolee. Step into the world of effortless elegance at Delurian.com. From designer fashion to luxurious home accents and high-end lifestyle pieces, every item is curated for style, quality, and sophistication. Discover products that transform everyday moments into something extraordinary. Visit Delurian.com today. Don't wait. Upgrade your style, your home, your life, only at Delurian.com. Delurian.com, where elegance meets everyday life.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Nick out of Baltimore. How you doing?
Hey, Nick. What's up?
Listen, I wasn't lying to you when I said this morning I was in a lot of pain. My back is really acting up.
Oh, no.
And I can't tell you the shooting pain I'm experiencing right now, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. And I can't take painkillers. I just have aspirin. But so add Michael Savage to your list.
Oh, really?
Because he's another one that has to have his ego stroked, and then he doesn't have his ego stroked by Trump. He lashes out. So he's another one that I unsubscribed to his YouTube channel.
Wow, that bad, huh?
I can't.
What's he doing?
He's just knocking Trump. He's just saying, he's saying he's doing the wrong thing. He's talking about the ballroom, and he's talking about that they really don't know what they're doing, and he's just negative, and I just got sick of it.
Yeah. And
you've been right 100% about Candace Owens and the others, and MTG, and Laura Loomer's been right. I saw her post on X today where she said, "I've been telling you since 2022," and she was right.
About Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I can't understand her. I always had great respect for her, and I don't know what's maybe she never was with us. I don't know.
You know what it is, Brian? They're all, like my sister said, they're all ambitious, and everybody is jockeying for position. You can see it now that they assassinated Charlie Kirk, and it's evident what's going on. Well, Charlie
Kirk was really keeping a lot of these people in line, and he was like the top. I didn't realize, but he was like the top. I hate to use this as a source, but AOC dropped a video a couple days ago about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I saw it on Twitter, X, and I think she, believe it or not, might have had a point. She was talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene going against Trump, and she's and she is in Congress, so she hears things, so this could be true.
Right.
She said that Marjorie Taylor Greene is pissed off at the president because he torpedoed her Senate run. She wanted to run for the Senate. which is a pretty big deal to be in the Senate. It's a bigger deal than being in the House, and he torpedoed that, and she's pissed about that. I don't know, maybe.
See, it's all about, it's all about power. I think she's on the right track. I hate to say it. I don't like AOC, but
no, gosh,
it's going to be very interesting. What's that?
Yeah, I don't either. But when she said that, it's like, well, I don't have any other reasons.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, I don't get it. All of us that have shows,
Right.
we've got the best gig in the world, all of us. And everyone should be happy. Not this sense, this sense of they're like liberals. They have this sense of entitlement that they're owed something.
Right.
That they need to be heard. They need to be able to get the president on the phone. They need to fly on Air Force One or something. I don't understand this entitlement. You
nailed it 100% again, because no one knows except the president and his team, and Melania perhaps, and the kids, what the president is, what is in his mind.
Yeah.
And no one should second guess President Trump, because, and I'm not saying that because I want to appear like a sycophant. I really do trust this man. He's the first president to work for the American people.
Yeah.
None of the other presidents, all the other presidents worked for everybody else, all the other countries. This is the first president that's doing something for the people in this country.
Well, usually what most presidents are doing in their second term is angling to become rich when they leave their second term. So they do all these things. President Trump's already got the money. He doesn't need any money. He doesn't need any mansions paid for by donors. He's got everything.
Look at Obama.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And the
There's
Clintons,
your
all
example.
of them. Yeah, all of them. Well, Nick, I hope you feel better. I wish you were here in Florida. I could get you in with Dr. Appleton.
I wish I was there too. Listen, as a public service, whether you're liberal or conservative, let me just leave you with this, Brian. Don't ever get your back operated on, whether you're liberal or conservative. Please, it never works out. Get second and third and fourth opinion.
Yeah, or go see Dr. Appleton with the laser wave pain treatment if you have a surgery scheduled or something beforehand. I always told no shoulder, knee, or back surgeries. Good to see Dr. Appleton first. All right, Nick, take care. Can you drink liquor, by the way, to help with the pain?
I don't think we have any in the house.
Call DoorDash. Call Instacart.
I have my Diet Pepsi.
There you go.
That'll have to suffice.
That'll have to suffice. Okay, take care, Nick, from Baltimore. He's in pain, but it makes a lot more sense than a lot of people are now. If you're on hold, hang in there. I think Nick made some good points there. This is Bartiromo on Fox today.
It's talking about Biden bucks. Is going to be Trump dollars out there, or what is that?
Well, I mean, look, he has this plan. I would rather see the money go toward paying down the debt. But then again, I mean, who doesn't want an extra $2,000 in your bank account right before Christmas and right before you're going to shop for new items in the holiday season? It also has to do with an election, the 2026 election. We've recognized that Tuesday's election was all about affordability. That's what they're talking about. And so I'm sure the Republicans aren't going to start using affordability in their talking points. But it was never not about affordability. It's always been about affordability. So that will be a theme going into the 2026 elections. $2,000 for certain people, I think it will go a long way. So good for him, but I still would rather the money go toward debt reduction.
Noted.
Yeah, well, it's easy for her to kiss off the $2,000, $4,000 for married couple. She's a millionaire many times over, and she probably spends that much money on her hair every month. It's not that much money to her because she's a millionairess, right? It's easy for her to say. I remember Regis and Kathy Lee? When Kathy Lee left, Regis and Kathy Lee, they tried to hire Bartiromo. She was at CNBC then, if I remember correctly, and she turned it down. And that was a wise career decision, wasn't it? I should be out there talking with... She'd probably be out of work by now. They wouldn't want her there anymore. But she'd be sitting around talking to actors. Give me a break. Or sitting down talking to presidents and everything else. She made a good move. But the other thing she said, though, this is why I shared this. She talked about the election. The next, keep in mind, after the holiday season is over and the new year begins, we're in an election year again. The midterm elections will be here, and next year is a big election year. And the Trump bucks that are coming We don't know if we're going to get them before the end of the year or after the 1st. But I've been telling you guys this week, since this story broke, that I believe President Trump is going to make the dividend from the tariffs an annual thing that people get paid, okay? And it's going to be they're going to be getting paid around about the midterm elections. So if the Democrats are going to oppose, they're going to be opposed. This dividend that he's going to send out, I'm assuming it's going to have to go through Congress. You never know with Trump. He may have some executive authority to do it. I don't know. The presidents have a lot of power, we're learning, that they don't usually use, and President Trump knows all about these powers and authorities they have. But as far as I know, it has to go through Congress. So this will very well be an election year. Vote for MAGA, and you get your dividend. If the Democrats take over, no dividend. And that $2,000, I wouldn't be surprised if down the road it ends up being $5,000, an annual thing. And you know the Democrats are going to oppose it. Anything Trump is for, they are against, even if it's something universally good and popular and everybody loves, because they can't agree with anything that he says or does. You know? Oh, before I get to this next thing, I wanted to comment. Nick had mentioned that Michael Savage was attacking Trump on the ballroom. I did a lot of coverage on the ballroom a couple weeks ago. I want to remind you of something. I believe this is my theory. Okay, we don't know this to be a fact, but when the president he wasn't going to tear down the whole East Wing for the ballroom, and then they decided to tear down the whole East Wing, and then I started doing some research. Well, wait a minute, what's that about? And what I found out was the White House presidential bunker is under the East Wing of the White House. I thought that the bunker was like directly under the main mansion. It's not. It's under the East Wing. The bunker, the original bunker was built for President Roosevelt, but the current bunker was built for President Truman right when the war ended, when the Cold War began. And not a lot is known about it. But a Secret Service man a couple years back gave an interview and leaked out a couple of things and said it's very small, not really usable. It's very dated. And it's certainly not up to par with the latest thing like EMPs. I believe that the ballroom and the tearing down of the East Wing is a cover operation to build a new presidential bunker. One that is modern, that the government can function with, and can withstand the new weapons that have been built and developed since 1948 when this one was built. In fact, when I really started looking into this is when Truman gutted the White House. Remember, I did a couple of shows on this. If you go back, you can watch in detail where I show images. But President Truman gutted the entire White House. They went even down beneath the basement. And I believe that was a cover to build the current out-of-date bunker. That's why they rebuilt the entire inside of the White House, was to build the bunker. It was a big cover-up. That's what I believe now, and this is to build a new one. And, you know, what gets me is this is why CNN and the other news outlets don't have cameras on the site all the time now. If you remember, they had a 24-hour camera on the construction site, and about a week ago, 10 days ago, the guy that runs CNN told CNN not to do the 24-hour camera feed from the East Wing, because I don't think they want it. Now, I'm not saying that there's not footage of it and you can't see it on site, but they don't want the 24-hour feed that they were running because they don't want it seen, some of the things they bring in. And that means a lot of the people that are attacking the president know for sure what I theorize, and they're still attacking him for the ballroom. And I cannot be the only one who thinks that this is a cover operation to build a new bunker. I think it is painfully obvious what it is, don't you? All right, I'm going to take a quick break. When we get back, there's a lot more to cover. Don't you go anywhere. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast, which is available on all podcast platforms. We'll be right back.
This is George Colony. I'm in the real estate business in Fort Lauderdale, Florida with Kai's Real Estate. I've been in business for 6 decades. People often ask me, what's the right time to buy or sell real estate? To tell you the truth, it's always the right time. You just need to have the right advice from the right advisor. You could call me anytime because I answer my phone on the first ring. My number is 954-801-7320. That's my personal cell phone number. And I answer it on the first ring every time. Please give me a call. I'm happy to answer any question that you have. My cell phone number is 954-801-7320.
Ready to transform your home? Havira.com delivers luxury, quality, and unbeatable deals on furniture, decor, and premium tech. Spell it out. H as in home. OVIRA.com. And dive into a collection built to impress. Experience style, elegance, and service that go beyond the ordinary. Revamp your space today at Havira.com. Havira.com. Luxury, value, service perfected. Upgrade your lifestyle at DJGeneralStore.com. From cutting-edge tech and smart home gadgets to stylish furniture, kitchen essentials, and premium accessories, every product is crafted for quality, performance, and style. Type it out. DJGeneralStore.com and explore a world full of products that elevate every part of your life. Discover it all today at DJGeneralStore.com. DJGeneralStore.com. Gear up. Live smart. Bring the magic of the holidays into your home with CozyHomeAndMore.com. From sparkling decor and warm twinkling lights to elegant gifts that delight, every piece adds cheer to your season. Explore CozyHomeAndMore.com today. Make your home the heart of the holidays with style, warmth, and joy. Celebrate, decorate, and create memories with CozyHomeAndMore.com. CozyHomeAndMore.com.
All right, yeah, CozyHomeAndMore.com. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Brian Craig Show podcast, available on all podcast platforms. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Raymond from Jacksonville.
Hey, Raymond, what's on your mind?
Hey, I was just calling to let you know what ties everybody together, like Green and all the others. They were all on the Alex Jones show. Even Candace Owens. Yeah. And when I started hearing, they were down playing. Not downplaying, but giving Israel a bad rep. I stopped listening to Alex Jones. But,
you mean that Alex? You theorize that Alex Jones has control over them, or influence?
Definitely.
Maybe.
Definitely some kind of influence because they're all have been on the show. Even Mark Dice, which I love that guy.
Yeah, but he's very anti. I like Mark Dice a lot, but he's so anti-Israel.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at within the past.
Mark Dice. Mark Dice is awesome. I'm a big fan of his, and he really only does one interview every year, and it's Alex Jones. He goes on Alex Jones like once a year. That's the only other show he does, and he's got this anti-Israel position. Yeah, you're right.
Well, like I've been listening to all these guys, and when I started hearing that on Alex Jones's show, his co-host would talk bad about Israel, them being more pro Hamas. I just started not listening as much, and same way with Mark Dice. I hardly ever I don't miss his shows that much anymore. I miss him. I just let him go by.
One of the reasons I know a lot of it doesn't seem that way because I talk about different people. I don't listen to a lot of other shows. I'll see clips and things on social media. And the reason, and I've talked about this a lot, I learned this from Rush Limbaugh. The reason I don't listen to a lot of other shows is I don't want to be influenced by what they're doing with what I do. You know, I like to follow the news and everything and have my own conclusions. You know what I mean? I don't like to have my mind clouded by other shows. And that can happen.
Right on. I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate the call. You make some interesting points. All right. Take care. If you're on hold, hang in there. Mayor Adams did an interview, and I was talking about Zohan. Listen.
Do you have any last words for Zornmo and Donnie's New York?
This is New York. It's not Cuba. It's not.
By the way, before I share this, why does Eric Adams wear not just one but two earrings in the same ear? He's got two gold earrings in his right ear. What is that all about? I don't get this thing with men wearing earrings. I remember Harrison Ford. Does he still wear an earring? That always rubbed me the wrong way. Why is Eric Adams doing that? I never noticed that before. Is that new, or has he always worn an earring? Now he's got two in one ear?
Do you have any last words for Zornmo and Donnie's New York?
This is New York. It's not Cuba. It's not China. It is the center of capitalism, not socialism. Can't take it backwards. We've made too much success. Got to move forward.
Got it. Marry, F, kill, communism, socialism, capitalism.
I would marry capitalism, Israel, socialism, and communism. I would kick to the curb.
Here's a list of things that you love. Marry, F, kill, and the Black community, NYPD, Israel.
I would marry, and love all three of them, and I would add on to them Ghana, Senegal.
What are these things? Ghana, I don't know what he's talking about there. But his advice to Mamdani, when he said this isn't Cuba and all this, President Trump's been talking about this a lot lately. There's this new wave of Democrats, Zohan, Ilhan Omar and others. They come from these third world pits of hell that are basically anarchy, right? Like Zohan's from Uganda. That's basically a lawless anarchy. Somalia, where Ilhan Omar is textbook anarchy. They come from these third world anarchies that have never been civilized, that have always been in a state of anarchy, and they dare to tell us what we're doing wrong, and that they have these values and ideas that we should apply here. When they come from these countries that don't even have a functioning system of anything. And that is a problem. And Mayor Adams, with his two earrings, gave some good advice to Zohan. This is not Cuba, Venezuela, or any of these other third world pits. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from West Virginia.
All right, West Virginia. What's on your mind?
Nothing. I was just coming to see if you're a big Trump supporter like me.
I'm wearing a hat that says "Make America Great Again" and a hoodie that says Trump on it that I got from the Trump official store. So I think you can safely say I'm a Trump guy. I'm MAGA for life.
That's great. Good.
Why would you doubt that if you're looking at me?
I just wanted to know. That's all. I mean, I was just clicking on random calls.
You're new. You're new. I just popped up on your feed.
Yeah.
Oh well, you'll love this show. Oh yeah, make sure you subscribe.
I was just. Oh, I did. And when I first was like, yeah, I'm gonna call this guy up and see, because I don't know if you're trolling or not, because some people.
Oh, are you kidding me? I love Trump. I trust him with my life. Good. Absolutely, yeah. Like he loves us.
Oh yeah. So, what's your thoughts on the whole Supreme Court with the whole tariffs? Like them, thing is if it's allowed or not.
Well, we don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that he's going to get a favorable ruling, right? I mean, that's
I hope so.
Tariffs are a tool of the president to get things done. They're very, they're very important. I don't see them overruling him on the tariffs. No.
Yeah, I don't see him either. Because we're generating a lot of money, and given how it is, we can probably not happen within a couple of years, but let's say if J.D. Vance gets in office, you can probably remove the income tax.
Well, that's the president's plan. Hold on, I'm going to answer these other lines while we're talking. But what President Trump's plan is to replace after he wants to pay off the national debt. It's like $37 trillion or something ridiculous. When they pay off the national debt, the next move by whoever is the president at the time, they'll be MAGA, I'm assuming, will be to eliminate the income tax and fund the entire government with the tariffs. That's why they're doing all this reform with Doge, getting all these illegals off Medicaid and all these things. The government can run just on the tariffs, and it will, and we'll have no income tax. That would be so beautiful.
Because we did that before in the 1890s and early 1900s.
We didn't have an income tax until around World War I. Woodrow Wilson brought it in, and they never went back.
Yeah, well, Wilson was a terrible president in himself. I'm not going to get into that guy.
Woodrow Wilson, Democrat, was in the Ku Klux Klan. So was Harry S. Truman, by the way. They were both in the Ku Klux Klan. Democrats.
Yeah, what they do is they just switch whatever's popular at the moment,
I think they were in the Klan their whole life. I don't think they ever stopped. That's how they got in power.
I mean, I know they did it when they were younger, but I don't know if they did it like when they got older. I don't know.
Oh, sure. That's how they got into power. Woodrow Wilson was from Virginia, right? So
somewhere in the South.
Yeah. So Virginia not only was the Confederate capital in Virginia, but those guys that were the power bosses, some of them were alive during the Civil War still in his time, some of the big money guys. And certainly their daddies were. Not their granddaddies, their daddies and themselves. And Truman, he had the grandkids of the Confederates, and he was in the Klan. That's how he got into the Senate. Ku Klux Klan.
Our senator wasn't a Klan. What's his name? Robert Seabird. He was a Confederate member.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He was there for like eons.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, I'm glad you found me. You'll love my show, I promise.
I'll look into it.
Okay. All right. Appreciate the call. Take care. West Virginia. That's right. This is where MAGA comes to talk. All right. Let's see here. Phones are ringing off the hook. All right. Let me take another call or two. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It is Job for 9 out of California.
Hey, what's up?
So let me get this straight. You have some congresswoman named Umar who's out of, is it Minnesota or Michigan?
Ilhan Omar is from Minnesota.
Yeah, and there's so much corruption.
Or Somalia, whichever, which is kind of Minnesota and Somalia, kind of the same thing.
Well, as of right now, yeah, and there's huge, gigantic issues, and there's cases of fraud and abuse going crazy in that demographic. And then you have some guy from where is this Zohan person from?
Ghana.
Uganda or something?
Ghana. Ghana or Uganda, whichever one of those third world. Uganda.
Okay.
Uganda.
So I'm an American citizen born in this country, and personally, I think every single I don't get it. They should be coming to this country and being on their knees and kissing the ground that we have been able to provide for them.
Yes.
End of story.
Mm-hmm.
If you're so great, and wherever it is that you came from, that you want to end up bringing those things to our country are so great, that I got an idea for you. Why don't you take those ideas and go right back where you came from and make where you came from great?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You can't, because they're assholes. Okay? They have no functioning infrastructure. Those areas are just in complete turmoil. And you're going to come here and tell us what the heck to do?
They're anarchies that have warlords still in the 21st century. Uganda, Somalia. Yeah.
All I know is that he's not going to last, because everything that he promised, he can't do. So he's going to make a huge, gigantic mess. The only thing that he can do is mess with law enforcement. Everything else he cannot do. He can't change the fare to zero on the buses or the trains, because it has to go through a commission. The MTA has to actually authorize that. He can't take private property away, because they have a law against that already. He can't do freezing of rent.
Well, no, he Zohan, he announced in a video what he's going to do. They're going to go to property owners, right, that have apartment buildings with rentals, and he's going to send the code enforcement officers after them, and hit, you know how that goes. So when they get all these violations that they can't repair, he's going to seize control of the buildings. He released a video talking about this. It was all over the place the other day.
Well, then somebody will be suing the whole entire city, and then the city will have to end up coming with the money.
He'll turn New York into Uganda. He'll turn it into Uganda.
They're disgusting. They should be on their knees every freaking second of the day, kissing every single American citizen and every veteran, for that matter, for giving them even the opportunity to end up walking the streets of the United States.
Yeah, you're right.
Love you, Brian.
Well, thank you for your call. Appreciate the call. All right. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Are you talking to me, sorry?
It sounds like you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
All right. My name's Levi. I'm calling from Kelowna, BC.
All right.
Canada.
Levi, what's on your mind?
Just curious, have you ever seen the viral sensation that is Two Girls, One Cup?
I didn't hear the perversion. What did you say? I know you're saying something that's not nice, probably. I didn't hear it.
I was just wondering if you've seen the video Two Girls, One Cup. I don't know. I'm just curious.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've never seen Two Girls, One Cup?
No, you said it like 3 times now. I have no idea what you're talking. I appreciate. You know what? I don't appreciate the call. If I thank you for the call, I'd be lying. I don't want to lie. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a gift that lasts a lifetime? One that's personal, powerful, and proudly American-made. At Back 40 Metalworks on Etsy, that's Works, W-O-R-X. They turn ideas into steel. Since 2010, Back 40 Metalworks has been crafting over 200 unique metal art designs, from wildlife and rustic decor to modern wall pieces and custom creations. With more than 30 years of experience working with metal, they know how to shape your vision into something extraordinary. Need a personalized welcome sign for your home? A company logo? A one-of-a-kind Christmas gift? Something for mom or dad on their day? Or any other day of the year? Every piece at Back 40 Metalworks is built to last, indoors or out, and every design tells a story, your story, in steel. Visit the shop online right now. Back40metalworks.etsy.com. That's W-O-R-X. And view the inventory. You will be impressed. Back40metalworks.etsy.com. They turn ideas into steel.
On the line, we have Gina. She's a client of Jupiter Joe Thomas. Gina, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing great, thanks. So you went and met with Joe Thomas about annuities. Can you tell me about your experience?
I can't say enough good things about my experience with Joe Thomas. He's a straight shooter. He tells it like it is. He talks in plain language so that you know, because I didn't know anything about this stuff when I retired. So I walked into his office, and immediately I felt comfortable. And I said, look, I know nothing about this. I don't want to lose my shirt. So please guide me in the right direction so that I'll be set. And he sure did. And I'm very happy that I went there. And I even got my mother to join, too. Now I feel comfortable that I'm set, and I don't have to worry about running out of money.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than running out of money before you run out of life, right?
Exactly.
Give Jupiter Joe Thomas a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999, and online, jupiterjoe.com. All right, Gina, thanks so much.
Thank you, Brian.
Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment. I think about what my life would be like all the time if I never met Dr. Appleton and took advantage of his laser wave pain treatment. He's rid me of pain 7 times with his laser treatment, and I'd still have those pains, right? Those times I fell off my skateboard still would have happened and busted my shoulders, the arthritis, my knee pain, all that. I'd be suffering so much right now, or I'd be a junkie on a bunch of pain pills. That's not good. His laser wave pain treatment works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. You've heard me talk about this quite a bit. And I was just talking to Dr. Appleton, and he brought to my attention, and I did not realize this, but, you know, the laser treatment works on injuries and pains that you're suffering from car accidents or slip and fall accidents. And I realized when I fell off my skateboard those couple times, those were accidents, right? I slipped off the skateboard and fell. If you've fallen at home, fallen out in public, or gotten into a car accident, go see Dr. Appleton. I was in a really bad car accident, years ago, and my car got totaled. A girl hit me. I was sitting still in my car in a traffic jam on I-95, wasn't moving, and a girl drove into my driver's side, going 65, 75 miles an hour. It was bad. I thought I wasn't going to make it, but I did. And I'll tell you, I was in a lot of pain. I didn't know Dr. Appleton then. I don't even know if the laser wave pain treatment with Dr. Appleton was available then, but I was in a lot of pain. Just from the seatbelt, my chest was in so much pain just from the seatbelt, and I'd hurt my leg and everything else. And you know what? Come to think of it, that knee pain I'm suffering from probably was from a car accident that I was in. I bet you it was that he rid me of. But the laser treatment works on injuries from car accidents. And, a lot of people are getting into car accidents these days in Uber and Lyft rides. Can you imagine you're in an Uber, you're in a Lyft, and there's an accident? Well, some of these guys drive like nuts. Well, anyway, if you're in pain because of an accident, go see Dr. Appleton. Remember, the consultation is free. If you have x-rays, you have scans, bring them with you. It also works on every type of pain I've ever heard of: arthritis, bursitis, work and sports injuries, strains and sprains, repetitive motion injuries, post-surgical swelling, neck and back injuries, knee conditions, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, rotary tears, herniated disc, acute pain, chronic pain. The list goes on. And pain that you're suffering from accidents, slip and fall, or car accidents. Remember, appointments are not necessary. Even on Saturdays, there's no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Give Dr. Appleton a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. We've had listeners travel from all over America to see Dr. Appleton. His laser treatment works. Online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, we're back. I'm Brian, and this is The Brian Craig Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, hello.
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Wyatt. I'm calling from Iowa.
All right, Wyatt in Iowa. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to know why you support and voted for a pedophile.
I didn't.
Really? That's interesting, because he was best friends with Epstein for 10 years.
No, he wasn't best friends with Epstein. In fact, just to get you up to date on it, sorry you're not so up to date on an issue you're so obsessed with. It came out.
Right,
It came out a few weeks back, maybe a couple months ago at this point. But this was amazing, and it came out courtesy of Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, opened up a bunch of information when he dropped something by mistake in a fit of anger.
Really?
Jeffrey,
I'd love to know what it was.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you. Two things. When Jeffrey Epstein first got in, he got in trouble locally for his creepy behavior with the Palm Beach County.
True. And then his
excuse me.
lawyer got him out.
I'm sharing information that you're unaware of by your own admission.
No, I do know about this part.
His
lawyer
excuse
got
me.
him
No,
out. And
excuse
lawyer
me.
Also worked for Trump.
Excuse
too,
me. I'm
didn't he?
speaking.
Continue.
Oh well, thank you. I appreciate you letting me speak on my own program. It's so
My
giving.
part of the program.
No,
because you're wrong.
You're here.
Continue.
You're here because I'm allowing you to be here. So he first got in trouble with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. He got the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office were alerted of Jeffrey Epstein and his behavior because when Donald Trump found out, he turned him in to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. The part that MAGA Mike and by the way, Epstein
kicked him out. He didn't turn him in.
No, he did. Even Epstein's attorney confirmed that. What Mike Johnson dropped.
The same attorney that works for Trump?
Excuse me. What Mike Johnson dropped recently, a couple months back, was that President Trump was working as an undercover FBI informant against Jeffrey Epstein. So I'm sorry, there's some information that you said you did not know. Now you know. Okay, so President Trump hires only the best. And our openly gay Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, he was on Morning Joe Listen to this.
How does a $20 billion bailout of Argentina help Americans? You're the president's point person on that. Can you explain to those here who are feeling the pinch, including America's farmers, why the United
Say this guy, this is beautiful. This idiot, whoever he is on with Morning Joe, typical liberal, just like that joker I was talking to, thinks he knows everything about everything. And what do you find out? All he has are a bunch of Rachel Maddow, MSNBC, Trump derangement suffering talking points. And Scott Bessent, our openly gay Secretary of the Treasury, who's a pretty tough guy, right? He got into it with Elon Musk. Remember that at the White House? He's got all the receipts. Watch.
How does a $20 billion bailout of Argentina help Americans? You're the president's point person on that. Can you explain to those here who are feeling the pinch, including America's farmers, why the United States is helping out Argentina?
Well, do you know what a swap line is?
It's currency swap, yes.
Yes, but what is that?
You're the Treasury Secretary.
Yes, but why would you call it a bailout?
That is how...
In most bailouts, you don't make money. The U.S. government made money. We used our financial balance sheet to stabilize the government. One of our great allies in Latin America during an election, the president there won in a landslide. The government's going to make money, and I would rather use peace through economic strength than have to be shooting at narco boats coming offshore if the government collapsed. We have a generational opportunity in Latin America to create allies. We just saw an election in Bolivia. We're probably going to see an election in Colombia. We've seen them in Ecuador. We're going to see them in the Chile. So by stabilizing the economy there and making a profit, then that's a very good deal for the American people. And there's a lot we could have been doing for American farmers, but Democrats closed the government.
Yeah, humiliated this guy in his own studio. So what Scott Bessent's talking about here, they've got this talking point that's complete BS. And the talking point is that we gave this $20 billion. It used to be 40, but now they admit it was $20 billion, but that we gave $20 billion to Argentina. We didn't give them anything on the condition that Milei's party would win the election. The United States bought $20 billion in Argentinian pesos to prop up the currency. They immediately increased in value, and they've made money on that investment in the currency already. And it's amazing to me that even someone, it's one thing, like if you're on MSNBC and you're selling this line of BS, that's one thing. You're informed. You're on television. You're in a news division of a television outfit. You know what's going on, and it's one thing for you to lie to your liberal audience with this crap, but when you got the Secretary of Treasury for our greatest and favorite president, Donald Trump, there to use this delusional talking point when he's there to expose you is stupid beyond imagination. It shows you how dumb people are in the media, right? They're basically spokesmodels for liberal BS. Now, if you'd like to support my content and my channel, become a Patreon supporter. If you're a Patreon supporter, you get access to a lot of exclusive things, commercial-free editions of all my podcast episodes. But also, this is something I started just a couple weeks ago. I have exclusive Patreon live streams that are on the Patreon platform. In fact, I did one earlier today. I had a Patreon-only live stream. It's a troll-free zone. I don't allow liberals and trolls to become Patreon supporters. If any of them sneak in, I kick them out. So it's a troll-free chat room, and it's a chat room on the Patreon live stream, just like I have here on YouTube, except it's my Patreon supporters and me, and completely troll-free zone. And I let my hair down a little bit and talk about some things that I wouldn't talk about here for whatever reason. Also, if you're a top Patreon supporter, you get a live on-air thank you shout-out on every episode and get your name up on the screen. These names on the screen are my top Patreon supporters. I want to thank SFjr, Christine, ETW, Chuck, Pamela, Nick called in earlier, Wesley, Doris, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Alice, LeeZep, Shawna, George, Brandon, John, Frank, Dale, Tina, David, Laura, Rob, Wes, Sue, Janice, Teresa, Irene, and Doris. These are my top Patreon supporters. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description of this and every episode on whatever platform you're listening on, or you can go directly to patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show. That's patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show. Okay, now the Brian Craig Show podcast is available wherever you get podcasts. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for the Brian Craig Show. It'll pop up. If you want to catch the show live and the video podcast, that's on YouTube and YouTube Music. Just search Brian Craig Show. Subscribe to me on YouTube or YouTube Music. You can catch the show live in video form. But all the podcast platforms, the audio edition of the podcast is on all of them. Just search for The Brian Craig Show. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for tuning in. I will talk to you next time. Take care.